Hi guys, this is Umair. In this video, I'll be talking about CRUD operations in Angular 4. As you can see on my screen that I have a table of different products that I have created in my JSON file. And I can add a product, I can delete product, I can update my product, and obviously I have get different products and show those products in this table. So let's first add our product. If I click on add product, I can go back. If I click on add product, and let's add our products, let's say hat, and it has a color green. And if I click on add product, I'll show a message new product has been added. If I go back, you can see that the product has been added in my table. And in the same way, I can delete my product. If I click on delete, it will ask me, do I really want to delete my product? I'll click OK, and you can see that it has been deleted. If I click on delete, if I click on cancel, it will not be deleted. And if I want to update any particular product, let's say I want to update this t-shirt and the color of this t-shirt, and if I click on update, it will show my name and the color. And if I want to change the color, let's say the t-shirt color is red, and if I click on update, it will navigate to the home page, and it will, you can see that the color has been updated of my t-shirt. Okay, and I have added the different validations as well, like if I add different route, and it will if it doesn't find that particular route, it will navigate to our home page. If I click on update, and you can see that I am going to update my first product that has an ID 1. If I click back, and if I click the third one, you can see the 3-1. If I change to 21, we know that the 21 product of ID that has a 21 ID doesn't exist. And if I click on enter, it will show me a message that the product doesn't exist. So that's why both the things are empty. If I change to 4, you can see that the error message has gone, and we have got the name and the color of our fourth product. So these are the validations that I'll be doing. And click on back. So I'll be starting from the beginner level, from creating a new project and creating a new JSON file. So stay tuned, and let's start working on this project. So I have opened WebStorm, and I have created an empty project. It is just an empty folder in my specific directory in my system. So first, if I go to my browser, and if I open up cli.angular.io, we can see that we have different steps. I hope that you have seen my previous Angular 4 tutorial series. I'll be giving the link of that series in the description below, in which I have shown you what are these steps and how to use these commands. npm install -g angular CLI is used to install the CLI globally in our system. That I have already done. If you haven't installed it, make sure you install this Angular CLI in your system by running this command. And now navigate to specific directory where I want to create my new project of Angular 4. I'll run this command ng new and the name of my project. So let's open up my WebStorm, and in this ng new, and I will name this project CRUD Operations, and I'll press enter, and it will take some time, a few minutes, depends upon your system, and it will create all the dependencies that are required for running Angular 4 application. So after a few minutes, it has installed all the dependency modules and created my project within this app folder. So if I click on it, you can see that it has created different JSON files, package.json file, comma for unit testing, for automated testing. We don't need to install these things later on. It has automatically installed all the required things for our Angular 4 app. So if I click on source folder, you can see that inside it we have different bunch of folder that we are going to be working with. So before starting working on it, I just want to show you that the JSON file that I'll be working for this tutorial will be running on a local server. I can also add a JSON file directly in any directory and fetch and delete and update data directly in that folder, but I'm not gonna be doing it. What I need to do is, if you open up the json-server, it will show you a GitHub directory of this JSON server. What you need to do is you need to install this JSON server in your system globally. If you run in your CMD npm install -g JSON server, make sure you have installed npm and node, the latest version of both the things, and once you install those, you need to run this command in order to install the JSON server. And once it is installed, we can run our JSON file in our local server in different ports. If you want to change the port, we can change the port as well. So let's open up our project, and I'm going to create my JSON file directly in my app folder, not in my Angular 4 project folder, that is our CRUD operations, but in my app folder. You can save it or create it anywhere you want. So I will name it products.json. okay, so you can see the JSON file has been created, named products.json. So inside it, I'm going to create the default 2-3 products that will be default showing, rather than adding my products from the start. So let's create an object. Inside this object, I'm going to name my array products, and inside this array, let's create 2-3 objects. And first one is the name, t-shirt, and its other property is color, that is red. Okay, so I'm going to copy this object, comma, paste, comma, and paste, and change the name and color of both the objects that I have pasted. So let's add trouser, its color is yellow, and the third one is, let's say, hat, its color is blue. So I've created my JSON file starting with an object. Inside this object with the key, and then array contains different objects of my products. So I've created the JSON file. Now I've already installed my JSON server. In order to run this products.json file using the JSON server, let's open up my CMD, and I'm going to open up my path where my app folder exists in my system. So let's open, this is where my products exist. So let's copy this path, and in my D directory, CD, and I'm going to paste it. So I've navigated to my app folder where my products.json file exists. So in order to run the JSON server, json-server, I want to change the port. Okay, so for changing the port, -p, and I'm going to name, let's say, tetra 5, and the name of file products.json. Let's press enter. So we can see that this server has been started in my URL localhost tetra 5. If I go to my browser, and localhost tetra 5 means that our JSON server is working. This is locally. It has created the default fake REST APIs for my products. So if I click on products, we can see that we can see different products that are created directly from my file. Okay, so our server is working. So let's go ahead and start writing and get these products in our Angular 4 app. So for running Angular 4 app, we can see that we have opened the terminal in my WebStorm, and in order to run my application, I need to navigate to my CRUD Operations folder. That is actually the name of my project. So CD CRUD Operations and ng space serve. So compiled successfully. If I navigate to my browser, and if I localhost 4200, so app works. So our Angular 4 application has started working. So, and our server is working as well. So let's open our app folder, and in my CRUD operations folder I have the source folder, and this is the folder that is used to create components, services, directives, pipes, and so on. So this is the index file where my AppWorks content is being running, and this is the app folder, and this is the title coming from. This is where the AppWorks is written. So this is the main component, but I want to create my component even for my home page. I don't want to make this app component as my home page, because this is the app component that is used to dynamically generate the content. So I don't want it to be used as a home component. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new component, and I'm going to name my component home. For creating a home component, let's come to the terminal, and in the terminal I will write ng space g and component, and the name of my component is home. So let's press enter, and it has created my new component. If I open up my app, you can see that the home folder has been created and all the required files have been created for my component, because the CSS, HTML and the TS file combined to form one component. So in my app.module.ts we can see that it has already created home component, and given the path of that component it has added the home component in my declarations. Okay, so now I'm going to first create the route, because I want, when the app starts, I want this page to navigate to my home component and fetch the data of home component and show that data in my this browser. Okay, so for running it I'm going to fetch different modules. So for adding the routes I need to write import router module from Angular/router. Alright, so first of all let's copy this router module and come inside the imports. I'll add a comma, paste it, dot for root path, and I'm not going to give any path because the home page will remain the default domain, that is the localhost 4200 in our case. So I will write component, and after that I'm going to name the class of my home component. So paste it. Okay, so I have created a route for my home component. So in order to run the data of my home component in my app component, I need to open my HTML, and rather than writing the title I will write div, and inside it I will use router outlet. Alright, so that has been done. Now let's go back and save all the files, and if I go back and run it again, actually my project is not running ng-serve in order to run my project. So let's go back and reload it. So you can see it has shown me a message home works, because this is the content that is coming from the home. So in our app component we are fetching the data from the home component using the router, and we are showing the data in the HTML of our home component. Okay, so if I go back to home component, and this is where the data is coming from. Okay, so now this component is running. Now let's open up the home.component.ts file, and inside it we need to write some code in order to fetch the data of this products.json file. So in order to fetch the data we need to use the HTTP calls. So I will import the HTTP. I need to use the response module, and I need the headers, and that is coming from angular dash http. Alright, so inside my home component I need to add this http in my constructor. So I will write private http and http. Okay, so ng-on-init is a function that automatically calls whenever our view initialized. Okay, so I want to create a function first. So let's create fetch data function, and inside this function let's use this .http.get, and I need to give the path, the URL where my file resides. So my file resides localhost /tetra5/products. Okay, if I'm not using the local server, I can directly give the path of my products.json file. Okay, so I will write dot subscribe response response equal to greater than, and this dot products equals to response.json. Let's create the products array. Products equals to array. Alright, so this is the array that is used right here. The data that will fetch from this URL is going to be stored within this response, and I'm calling the JSON functions and store the result in my products array. Okay, but I don't want to call this function from my HTML. I want this function to be called from this function, because this function is automatically going to call whenever our home view is going to initialized. Actually there is an error, I need to write equals to. So from ng-init I'm going to call this dot fetch data. So now for getting the data, our code has been written. Now let's write HTML for showing the data. So open up my home component HTML, and in my HTML I need to create a table. So let's add a table th, and first one is the ID. The JSON server automatically creates ID, so copy. Okay, so second one is the name, and third one is the color. Okay, and after that let's add a. Alright, so this is the row, but we don't know how many products are going to be fetched. So on this tr I'm going to use ng for iterating all the products and showing it, and create the tr as much times as our products are. So I will use static ng for equals to let product of products. Okay, so inside my tr I'm going to use td. Actually above I need to write th for headings, so let's change it later on. So product.id, copy it, product.name, and product.color. Okay, let's add the heading above. So h1 products, th, and the th, and the th. So let's save this file, and if I navigate to my browser, you can see that all the products have been fetched: t-shirt, trouser, and the hat. Okay, in order to show the ID, I created the default products, and by creating the default products it is not going to generate the IDs. If I create my product using the JSON server, then it's going to initialize and assign the ID to that particular product. Okay, so for now that's pretty much fine. I need to write some CSS. So for writing CSS, let's open up the styles.css and write table comma th comma td, and I will write border 1 pixels, solid black. Font size needs to be, let's say, 30 pixels, and the padding is 10 pixels. So let's save it and navigate to our browser. You can see that the t-shirt red, trouser yellow, hat blue, and the data has been fetched from these products, the same data that are written in our JSON server. Okay, so our data has been fetched. We have run our command. Now let's add our new product. So for adding our new product, let's first create our add product link in our home HTML. So for adding our products, let's say A, inside the A, let's say plus add product. Okay, so let's open up the styles.css and to A, font size 30 pixels. So let's navigate. So our link is right here. Right now I can't click on it because I need to write href for making this work, but I'm not going to use the href. Instead, I need to create a new component that is going to be used for creating the new product. Okay, so for creating a new component, as I created the home component, I need to close my project and I will write ngg component and let's say product. So it's going to process it and it's going to create a new folder in my app, and this is the product. This has been created. So let's go to app.module and create a different route for it. So copy, and I'm going to change it product, and component is product component. If I open up, this is the name that I need to write right here. Okay, so that has been created. So now let's come back to our home component, and for navigating to that particular URL, I need to use route link property. So let's say, I think it was router link. Okay, so equals to slash product. Let's save it. Actually, I needed to run it. So project has been compiled. Let's go back and click on it. Let's inspect it. There is an error. So invalid configuration, product path can't start with slash. All right, so I need to go back and open up my app.module.ts and remove this slash. So let's save it and go back, and a new error, invalid configuration, product path can't start. I have removed it, and let's save it. Let's try to run my project again. Sometimes the reloading project doesn't update the code changes that we make in our files. So let's run it again. It is running. See that our no error here, because now the changes have been compiled successfully. So if I click on it, it has navigated to slash product URL. Okay, and the product works coming from the products component HTML that is written by default by when we create a new component. So inside this page, I need to create different forms for writing the name and the color, and if I click on the add product button, it should go to the JSON server and create a new product. So let's go ahead and write some HTML right here, and if I click on the button, it should create a new product.